Welcome back to Career Mode. This is episode 15, I believe. This is the Brazilian Grand Prix. We are here in Sao Paulo. I think, watch me get that wrong. For the Interlargos Grand Prix. And we are already in Q3, no surprises there. And now it's just 2 races left to go in the season. Things are heating up. This race will mean a lot to us. We can't win the World Championship. It's mathematically impossible now for us to win the World Championship, but we can get 3rd place. We are currently in 3rd place. We are just a few points ahead of Sebastian Vettel, and as we get closer and closer to Abu Dhabi, where double points are at stake, which can change the World Championship standings in its entirety, we have to make sure that we get a good result here today so that we have an advantage over Vettel heading into Abu Dhabi. But anyway, right now going around Brazil, and a track I really enjoy driving around. It's just that sector 2, I am I'm rather bad at it. But you can see we're going to be the first one to set a lap time in this session of qualifying. Of course, our one and done session, and here we go. The one lap time we're going to do is a 1:15.8, and that was good enough for 7th position on the grid. So there we have it. Hamilton getting pole just from Rosberg. It's down at them 2 for the championship as well, so there we go. Anyway, let's take a look at the grid in its entirety. Hamilton leads from Rosberg, Ricardo, Vettel, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Softcheese, Massa, Bottas, Raikkonen, Button, Perez, Kvyat, Verne, Sutil, Grosjean, Maldonado, Gutierrez, Bianchi, Kobayashi, Chilton, and last place being, of course, Ericsson. So this being said, we need a podium finish, I would say. We need to finish definitely ahead of Vettel, and I think a podium finish today is what we require ahead of Abu Dhabi. Just so we have good enough momentum to finish fully ahead of Vettel on the day. But right now we're focusing ahead of Abu Dhabi. We need to focus right now on the Brazil Grand Prix. There we go, the Mercedes lockout on the grid. Myself in 7th, my teammate behind me a little bit in 11th, 2 rows behind me. So now we get set for the grid. I can see Vettel in 4th. I'm going to want to take him heading into the first turn. Anyway, it's 4 lights. 5 lights. Lights down, away we go here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We get off to an awful start. I pressed down the accelerator and then accidentally lifted off for a little bit, so we did that wrong. Anyway, heading into turn 1 now, we got the outside line. Alonso going rather slow. We're going to make a little bit of contact with him. Hulkenberg's got off to a good start, but we got to make contact with him, trying to make sure that we don't take the position off him. We give it back. Vettel, meanwhile, just about holding on to 4th. This is where we can get on the speed sooner. We're past Hulkenberg with little to no difficulty. Slotting to the outside now. Vettel gets on the brakes early. We're up into 4th position. Rosberg now getting in a bit of trouble. He's been overtaken by Ricardo through that left-hander. He had a bit of grip trouble. It seems we're getting on the power soon enough. We're going to try and take him through this long right-hander, but we can't do it there. Maybe we can do it heading into this thingy section. I can't remember the word for it. We have done it. We've taken 3rd position. So now we head through this very twisty right, left section. Very well, like 3 hairpin turns. And look at this, you can tell already that I'm really struggling through here. Ricardo, who was very near to us before we headed into this, is now just got a second ahead of us, and Hamilton meanwhile is just going to drive further and further away, because of course that's what that Mercedes engine can do. We're going to come across the line now. We're going to engage rich fuel mixture a little bit to try and close down some tenths on Ricardo and try and pull a little bit further ahead of Rosberg. Rosberg just 3 tenths behind us, Ricardo a second ahead of us. Now we go ahead to lap 8. As you can see, Ricardo never drove that far away from us. He was always about 3 seconds. But we're coming in for our pit stop now. We're able to keep 3rd position successfully. We're going to come in for our pit stops. There's Hamilton leaving his pit garage. We're just about to head in now. We need a good pit stop here. No traffic. None whatsoever. We're going to come out 4th. No, we're going to drop down the order a little bit. We're coming out in 7th position. Vettel, meanwhile, I think, is still in the pits. So we are doing well when it comes to being ahead of Sebastian Vettel right now. I believe before we went into the pits, he was in 5th. So we're still doing a good job before Abu Dhabi. Going to come out comfortably in 7th. Perez just behind us. And now we're going to head on to the end of lap 9 now. As you can see, Raikkonen just ahead of us going into the pits. Few cars going into the pits. Are we going to be able to reclaim third position. Ricardo's going to be one of the men in this pits. We're in third. There's Ricardo, I believe. Yes, that is Ricardo. It's going to be close as we come out of this pit lane. Ricardo was 3 seconds ahead of us before he went into the pits. How close is it going to be? The undercut wasn't successful, but we are right behind Daniel Ricciardo now. Not even a second between us. This is where we can use our fresher tyres to our advantage. He's got cold tyres that aren't gripped in yet. Our tyres are 2 laps old and they are very good. They're at their prime right now, and as you can see, end of lap 10, we're still right behind Ricciardo. We're going to get DRS on this straight. We're going to use it. We're going to try and get in this slipstream. He's coming across the line. Look at this. We're just going to drive right past him. Outside and into turn 1. We lock up hugely. Trying to overtake him. We're on the grass, but we pull out ahead of him. We pull out in front of him, and we are in second position. And Hamilton, meanwhile, is just driven off into the distance. But like I said, this is what we need, a podium finish. And we were finally able to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. And now look at this, Rosberg coming on the outside. He's got DRS. Thankfully, he's not able to overtake us, but Ricciardo puts on the brakes so early that Rosberg overtakes him and goes into third. That's bad news for Ricciardo. Now, though, the last lap, that is not Lewis Hamilton ahead of us, that is a back marker. Lewis Hamilton, there he goes across the line, winning the Brazilian Grand Prix. We were trying to hold off from them. Vettel somehow got into third position, but it's okay. He didn't overtake us. We're going to come home for second place in the Brazilian Grand Prix. That is a good race indeed. It was just all about making sure that we preserved our tyres, kept good consistent lap times, and that is what we did. We've got second position, Vettel just behind us. So things are going to be interesting when we go into Abu Dhabi. But anyway, as you can see, it's a British 1-2. Hamilton from soft cheese. Vettel, Rosberg, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo. Stepped down to 7th. Bottas, Raikkonen, Button, Perez, Kvyat has passed me. Takes a long time doing this. I'm not sure why. There we go. Sutil, Grosjean, Maldonado, Verne, Gutierrez, Chilton, Ericsson, Kumino Kobayashi, Jules Bianchi, and the only retiree of that Grand Prix was Felipe Massa in his home Grand Prix as well. As we look at the standings, we're 7 points ahead of Vettel heading into Abu Dhabi, but look at the drivers' standings as they head into the final race of the season. Rosberg leads the championships by 2 points over Hamilton. That is going to be an interesting race between both men at the end of the season. But right now we are celebrating our second position. Up next is the series finale, Abu Dhabi. Our first season of career mode is almost over. Can we come home in third position for it? We're going to find out at Abu Dhabi on Tuesday. But anyway, that ends this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and ta-ra.